Remember when logging into your favorite game was an escape? Now for a lot of us, it feels more like clocking in for a second shift. Picture this. You've just survived a long, brutal day at work, back-to-back meetings, an inbox that never sleeps, and that nagging feeling that you're just a cog in a giant machine. But you held on because you knew what was waiting for you. That game you've been itching to play all day. Finally, you're home, you're free. No more responsibilities. You're ready to just melt into another world. And yet, instead of grabbing the controller, you just collapse on the couch. You unlock your phone, one scroll turns into 5, an hour passes, then another. Suddenly it's almost bedtime, and you start thinking, is it even worth firing up the game now? You let out a sigh, and just keep scrolling. If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. The very thing that you looked forward to all day somehow became a source of friction. This isn't just about being tired, it's about perception. Your brain doesn't care how fun a game is supposed to be. It measures the anticipated effort. And in an era where games are designed to be endless, that effort can feel monumental. We've stumbled into an age where play has been systematically replaced by labor. For many, winning doesn't feel like a victory anymore. It just feels like relief. So let's explore why so many of us feel like our hobby has become a job, and why a growing number of players are abandoning the grind to look backward for fun. And that brings me to the first big reason: the chorification of gaming. Live service games especially have perfected the art of creating obligation. It starts small, a daily login bonus, a simple reward just for showing up. Then come the daily quests. Get 10 headshots, play 3 matches as support. Before you know it, you're juggling weekly challenges, seasonal events, and the biggest culprit of them all, the battle pass. Suddenly, playing the game isn't about what you want to do. It's about frantically completing a checklist before a timer runs out. It becomes a second job complete with its own deadlines and performance metrics. Miss a day, and you feel like you're falling behind. That cool cosmetic you wanted on tier 87. The season ends in 2 weeks, and you start doing the mental math calculating how many hours you need to clock in to get something you've already paid for. What started as fun slowly morphs into work. This whole system is powered by a potent psychological trigger, FOMO, or fear of missing out. Battle passes are built on creating artificial scarcity. Those rewards are exclusive and time limited. If you don't grind it out before the season ends, you might never get another chance. This creates a powerful sense of urgency that can transform your desire to play into a desperate need to not be left behind. It's a brilliant retention strategy, but for some players it breeds anxiety, not joy. The game is no longer a relaxing escape. It's just another source of pressure in our already stressful lives. The second reason gaming can feel like work is what I call the optimization treadmill. The simple joy of experimentation, of just messing around to see what happens, has been replaced by a relentless pressure to be efficient. You're not just playing, you're grinding. And to grind efficiently and effectively, you need the meta build. So go online, you look up the best loadout, the optimal skill rotation, the most efficient farming route. You follow a guide step by step because any deviation feels like wasted time. The game stops being a world to explore and becomes a problem to be solved. And there's only one right answer. This pressure is amplified by matchmaking systems that often feel like they're doing more than just finding a fair game. It's led to widespread community theories about concepts like engagement optimized matchmaking, or EOMM. While not a publicly confirmed standard, the theory is that these systems prioritize keeping you hooked over creating a balanced match. It's a similar psychological trick to a slot machine, a concept known as a variable ratio schedule. Here's how the theory goes. The system might detect that you're on a losing streak and get frustrated. So it serves you an easy match, one you're almost guaranteed to dominate. You feel great. That dopamine hits. You think, okay, one more game. And right after, you could be thrown back into the meat grinder against semi-pro players. The game in this view isn't trying to be fair. It's trying to keep you hooked by carefully curating a cycle of frustration and reward. The truly insidious part is that it works. We crave that win, that hit of validation. But when the win feels engineered, the satisfaction evaporates instantly. The hunger for another win returns and you have to queue up again. It's the myth of Sisyphus, but with RGB lighting and a battle pass. This leads to the final and maybe most important reason. The psychological hooks are so deep that we can feel trapped even when we're not having fun. Once you pay $10 for that battle pass, the sunk cost fallacy kicks in. You've invested money, so you feel compelled to get your money's worth. But it goes deeper. As you invest your time, another bias called the endowment effect can be triggered. We naturally place more value on things we've put effort into. That half-finished battle pass feels like yours, and abandoning it feels like a tangible loss. This is where the very nature of fun gets rewired. Psychologists talk about intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is doing something for the pure joy of it. Extrinsic motivation is doing it for an external reward. When you add an extrinsic motivator, like a battle pass, to an activity that was once intrinsically fun, you can actually undermine the original motivation. You stop playing because you love the game's mechanics and start playing just to see an XP bar go up. You log in, do your chores, get your points, and log off. Duty done. It's a loop designed to monopolize your time and keep you from playing other games. So if modern gaming feels like a second job, where do we go? For a growing number of players, the answer is the past. There is a real trend of people returning to retro gaming, and it's not just fueled by nostalgia. It's a conscious rebellion against the grind. The appeal of retro gaming often lies in its simplicity. You turn on the console and you play. No day one patches, no 100 gigabyte downloads, no account linking, no seasonal content to catch up on. The controls are often as simple as one button to jump and one button to attack. Games like Pac-Man or Galaga had clear goals and straightforward mechanics that were easy to learn but hard to master. This pick up and play accessibility is a refreshing antidote to the sometimes overwhelming complexity of modern titles. More importantly, retro and classic single-player games feel like they respect your time. They are finite, complete experiences. They offer a beginning, a middle, and an end. When you finish, you can put the controller down and walk away satisfied. There's a difference, a huge difference, in the feeling of accomplishment. Tell someone you beat a notoriously difficult retro game, and they might think, you must be good at that game. Tell them you finished a 100-hour modern epic, and they're more likely to think, I envy the free time you must have. One feels like a testament to skill, the other to endurance. Finally, there's an emotional connection that many modern games, in their chase for hyperrealism, seem to have left behind. The pixelated art and chiptune music of older titles have a unique charm that leaves room for your imagination. For many, these games are a comforting refuge from a world that is already too complex and demanding. They are a reminder that gaming doesn't have to be a job. It doesn't have to be a grind. It can just be fun. In the end, the trend seems clear. Players are growing tired of games that feel like obligations. The constant pressure of daily quests, the psychological manipulation some systems use, and the monetization models that prey on our fear of missing out are causing widespread burnout. The turn towards retro and self-contained single-player games isn't just about reliving the past. It's about reclaiming our hobby. It's a search for experiences that value our time, challenge our skills, and above all, remember that the goal of the game should be joy, not labor. What was the game that made you realize the fun was gone? Or what's the retro classic you've returned to in order to escape the grind? Let me know in the comments below. And if this conversation resonated with you, consider subscribing for more deep dives into gaming culture.